Two wheels are better than four. From the mountains to the shore, find us rolling up to the pub. We're 17 Scooters Club. Hello everybody, welcome back to 17 Scooters Club. It is Olivia and Katie and MIA Natalie, but she said
we're missing one.
We are missing one, surprise, surprise, but she did send us some content. She said one of her coworkers had a crazy story, and that's literally all because I told her we were recording. And I'm like, do you have anything you'd like to contribute to the sister podcast that you will not be a part of? She was actually, yeah, my friend like asked me how to do a write-in and like gave her the story. And so that's literally all I have. I have no other context.
Did she send it to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's long.
Okay. Well, at least it's
I could read. Yes. So she's not here, but she actually contributed this week.
She's here in spirit.
Here in spirit. This week might be a little new to everybody. Or it might be really familiar because we kind of started out, we've just kind of been a jumble all over the place type of pod, and we're all like super into conspiracies. I gotta yell at my dog. Hold up. Katie might be able to explain this.
Yeah. So we're all super into conspiracies.
Let's go.
But we decided to go back to our roots when we first started. I don't know if you guys, the OG listeners, remember our very first episode when we were talking about just like odd things that were happening to us throughout the day. Like, for example, my ex-husband had sent me like a mystery piece of mail, and it was like the weirdest thing, and I was so scared to open it. So yeah, we kind of started off as like just kind of chit-chatting, talking about the weird and interesting things that were happening. And then we got super into conspiracies because obviously love conspiracies. And
who's not into conspiracies?
What?
And now I said, because who's not into conspiracies?
Yeah. And if a good one comes up, that's great. We could still talk about it, but we're trying to take it back to just
it was starting to feel a little intense and a little bit forced, and where like some of the fun ones, like I think my favorite of all times is a country music singer who has like a doppelganger, not a doppelganger, like a hidden identity, Garth Brooks, that's super fun. And if things like that come up, like we're definitely going to still be like, we'll have like a conspiracy corner, probably maybe like every week. I don't know, like we're figuring it out as we go, kind of going back to the balance. But I think we were all kind of missing that conversational part of the podcast, because it was starting to feel a little bit like a school presentation where we're like muting ourselves while the other one was talking. So I don't know, we're figuring it out.
I could see us going to like a did you hear, and then be like, Garth Brooks has it, blah blah blah. I actually heard another crazy, it's not what I'm talking about today, but yeah, like fun things that pop up and you're like, oh my god, did you see this? Did you hear this?
Well, I have to see, I know we kind of touched upon this, but I have to like do some more digging about Garth, because like the big part that I saw online that led me to do the deep dive on him, I didn't like figure anything out about, but it was like the property that's adjacent to his where people just keep going missing on. And really, like, and they think that Garth is out there hunting them. And I'm like, I have no proof to back this up, and I don't even know if they're actually going missing, but Garth's hunting humans out there. Or maybe it's his alter ego, so Garth is in the clear.
I did listen to some Chris Gaines, and it's actually terrible. Like after we recorded that episode, because I'm just sitting here, I put it on my like big speaker while I was working, and I was like, this is really bad.
Yeah, so I listened to a little bit of his most famous one. Trisha says that's her favorite album of his.
Yeah, it's weird.
Trisha loves it, and I'm like, this is really odd. Also, anybody know, is it illegal to chew gum while you're podcasting?
I would say so.
Shit. I was cleaning out my purse right before, and I had a piece of gum, and I'm like, this looks so good. It looks so good. My mouth is watering, but then I thought about it, and I'm like, I won't do that to y'all. I'll save it as a little sweet treat. Yes. So what else is new? Katie, what did your week? We gotta talk about our weeks. We both had kind of wild
literally, I wrote down my week of what I want to talk about, because my week has been literally crazy. So I went to Key West last week, if you couldn't tell by my sweater, and I went with my run club. Now, If anyone from Run Club is listening, I love you all. We travel with a very old group. Like most people are, I think the person who's closest in age to us is like 40. And then after that, it's like 55, 60 plus. And we travel as a large group. So I didn't know what to expect. Like I've gone on one other larger vacation with these guys and we rented a bus. We flew into Fort Lauderdale and rented a bus and we road trip down. The running joke was like it kind of looked like a church bus because it was like one of those big vans with the like all the rows. And so the name of the race that we were doing, it's like a challenge. There's 3 different races. Was
People
called the
either thought you guys were like a church bus or a prison bus.
Yeah, it was one or the other. So we kind of
Yeah.
leaned into the church bus, and the name of the Key West Challenge, the race, we're all runners that we were going to go do, was the Pecker, the big Pecker. So we were joking around that the name of our bus was like the main guy who coordinates it is that he was our pastor, and that we were we were all part of the Church of the
Father.
Holy. Yeah, and it was just really funny, and it was so fun. I won third place. I will post a picture. I wasn't even trying. I was just out there fun running. So that was super fun. Vacationing with the older people.
That
Mary.
reminds me of the one race that I ran. I think I've talked about it before, but I was like, so like I didn't really understand the like tiers when they're like setting people off. I thought everyone started at the same time. And then so I just didn't know who was ahead of me, who was behind me. And so I saw these like really unfit group of ladies in like matching shirts and tutus ahead of me once. And I was like, there's no way I'm coming in after them. And so I started sprinting and I did that for like every other group I approached after that. And I'm like, there's no way I'm coming in after you. And then I finished and then I ended up getting like second place. And I'm like, there's no way. I didn't realize there were so many people ahead of me. But that's funny.
Yeah, it goes
That's
in like
happened to me
waves
once.
and
Yeah.
age groups. And yeah, that was I went in just chilling. I was like, I'm just going to enjoy the sunshine, listen to some music. And yeah, in my like 30 to 35-year-old age group, I ended up winning actually third place. So that was
Nice. Well,
fun.
congratulations.
Yeah,
Woo.
vacationing with
Jazz
the older
hands.
people, jazz hand, jazzercise at the pool with my old friends.
That's what
Yeah, it
Florida's
was super
about.
cool. They were there to party. I think I mentioned this in another episode. They love to party. Like we went to this Irish bar called Irish Kevin's, and I literally was like, "Is it 6 a.m. or 6 p.m.?" Like it was,
No.
it was really fun.
That's such like a Florida take on like Irish. Irish Kevin, like most of it's like McGillicuddy's, McGregor's, or like
Yeah,
something like that. But this is like Irish Kevin.
yeah. You
They're
have to
like, use the
specify.
name,
We
not
had
the last. Not it's supposed to be the last name, but they went
I
with the
know,
first name.
go
That's funny.
Connors. Yeah,
Yeah,
Irish Kevin's. It was super fun. So yeah, that was my weekend. Part of this is a funny story, and then I'll pass it to you. So we're coming back on our Church of the Holy Pecker bus. And we had to road trip. We actually some of our friends were getting dropped off in Miami. So we left Key West. We road
damn.
tripped to Miami. We literally opened up the side of the car door and said, "See ya," and kicked them off on the side. So then we had to continue our trip up to Fort Lauderdale. So it ended up being, and we hit traffic. So it ended up being like 5 or 6 hours in the church bus. So we finally get to Fort Lauderdale, and I'm sweaty. It's Florida. We're sitting down. Fine. So you have to go through security. And this has never happened to me. And shout out actually to our favorite podcasters, Zachariah and Jonathan. They've talked about this from camp counselors on their channel. And I
That's what
was
I
like,
thought about when you said it, and I'm like, never.
yeah. And I was like, when they had said it, because they said that I think Jonathan was wearing like some crazy suit or something. So he was sweaty and he was like, it was so embarrassing. And I was like, no, they don't do that. So anyway, back to my story. I get off the bus and I walk right from the sweaty 6 hour bus right to security. And I'm behind my friend and she goes first and she gets flagged and she gets pulled to the side. And I'm like, ha ha ha, look at you. So they send me through and I get flagged. And I'm like, God, what are we getting flagged for? So a woman comes over and she's going like this with gloves. And so she goes, "Do you ladies want to go to a private room or do you want to talk here? Because we're in the middle of security." And we're like, what the heck? Like it's Florida. I'm wearing a t-shirt and spandex, which was probably the problem here. And we're like, no, like what's wrong? And they're like, there was liquid. And we were like where? And she points to the scanner, like our butts and our groin.
My
And she's
God.
like, I'm gonna need to like do a little like pat down, feel up, because you can't bring extra liquid on the plane. And I was like, there's no liquid. Like, what? And we literally look at the little body scanner, and it's like a person just standing there with their hands down, and it's like all red in, in her like butts and groins. So she's like, okay. And she has a pat down, and we're like, what the hell? And she's like, yeah, it's a little sweaty out there. And I was like, oh, it detected our sweat. And I was like, I'm so sorry. We've been sitting on a
That's
bus for
mortifying.
6 hours.
They okay, so I wonder if like do you know how they make those like boob inserts that are like the shape of your boob and then it just makes you look like you have bigger boobs, but you could actually put
It's,
like liquor in it to
yeah,
like drink at a concert. I feel like they probably make those for like your butt and they make it for like every other thing. So I wonder if for them it looks the same as if you had one of those in, then it
probably.
as it would look like if you're just sweating.
Probably because it just said there's liquid in this, not liquid, but like
Liquid detected.
liquid detected. So that was embarrassing. We put on a show for everyone. We got a little pat down in front of the whole whatever
Sorry.
and had to admit to being sweaty in front of the whole airport. But
I'm
yeah,
sweaty sue me. I live in the New England.
I know, and it was hot.
Yeah,
We were on a bus, the church bus, for hours.
that's funny.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be more awkward if they brought you into a private room. Like I feel like I'm a little more comfy in front of everybody because it's like, what are they gonna do? Like they're not gonna arrest me in front of everybody. So now I have all this moral support. It's kind of funny, but like in a room, it feels more serious and like
Yeah.
scary. So I
Literally
don't
all she
know.
did was like, just like pat us down. And I was like,
Yeah.
it's fine. Like my pants are staying on.
Wow. Yeah, interesting. Well, like you went south of the border. I went north of the border. I went okay, so this is sponsored by Chat. Not really, but ChatGPT, $20 a month. Do you pay for the chat subscription or are you just on the free one?
No, I use free chat.
You plebeian. No, just kidding. I gave in. I was trying to create images, and one day they're like, you've created too many images for the free one. And I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling like a baller now. I'm going to start paying you. So I started paying the $20 a month for chat, and chat does everything. Before I like go to this is one of my like sort of topics. It's a side tangent, okay? So I feel like chat has saved me money because my problem is my skincare is very like I've always had really finicky skin. And so I started going to the esthetician and she started giving me products and she's like, these are great. They will work. Not sponsored, not anything. Face Reality. I really actually enjoy it. It's like the new age proactive, I feel. But like it's really simple products. Like nothing about the products are groundbreaking. But like the cleansers, like $32 for like a 3 ounce thing. Like the mandelic acids, like $46. It's like esthetician prices where like if it's working at this point in my life, like I will splurge on the skincare, but I have to go to the office to get it. Like it's not like I can't buy it online. I mean, I could get them to order it, but I'd have to pay shipping every time, which like in this age,
Even more.
why are we paying for shipping? It's 2026. Um so in this day and age, I was like it's not the price that's really bugging me, but after all these conspiracy videos that we've made and I've watched, it's just like with the Trader Joe's where Trader Joe's is basically making has the same product, like the store brand product is the same as the name brand product. It's just like cut in half, a lot cheaper. So I'm like, if they're doing that in food and beverages, they're definitely doing that in skincare and makeup and all of that. So like we're just paying like top dollar. Actually, I think I saw a YSL. There was like I think it was Elf and YSL lipstick were almost exactly the same and Jeffree Star did like a video on it. And I think the YSL lipstick was like probably like 70, $80. And then like Elf is like 6 and it's just like same product. So what I've used chat for, I sat down and I'm like, I'm using this product. I really like this product. I don't want to have to go somewhere physically to get it because it's 2026. What are we doing getting in our cars to get face wash? I want it sent to my house and I want to buy it off of Amazon. Okay, I know everyone hates Amazon or everyone loves Amazon. I don't have the time in my life to have a political stance on everything. or like a personal stance, I like Amazon. It gets delivered to my door. So
I do too.
that being said, I put in to chat, I'm like, what is the most similar ingredient wise product to this specific product that I can find on Amazon? And it will give it to me. And I'm like, okay, so what's the best like dupe that I could purchase for this? And basically it found me Amazon like basics, either Amazon basics, those were seemed pretty good, or just other low price, like probably drugstore brand, pretty much. Skincare products were almost identical to the face reality products I was using. And I think like there's a few of them like mandelic acid that I think it's the Ordinary.
I love The Ordinary.
The Ordinary is so cheap and their products are like top of the line according to chat, and they're almost identical to face reality for a massive fraction of the price. So
I use
we're going,
Ordinary every day.
yeah. And so and same, I used SkinCeuticals because I heard it on a podcast for hydraulic acid, is that what it's called?
Hyaluronic.
And hyaluronic, that's it. I get those mixed up. That and my vitamin C serum, and those were like astronomically expensive. And then for $10, they have them exactly the same product. Um we're just all out here getting scammed. But that is the best thing I have used chat for recently,
So
to just
far.
like, yeah, just asking him asking it to substitute my products, and it's been crazy
Did
how
you
much
ask him
money I
about
had to save.
tretinoin, or do you still get you have to get a prescription?
I get off of Amazon. And I've always gotten it off of Amazon. You get a prescription from a like a doctor. Basically, you submit that you want to purchase the item, and then you pay like a one-time, I think it was like a $30 fee to visit with dermatologist, like send pictures, say what you're looking to do, and they either approve you or they don't. I got approved, and I think tretinoin is like $10 off
That's
of.
awesome.
It's brand name, so the Retin-A tretinoin is like $10 off of Amazon, and a little tube lasts like 3 months. So I'm probably, I think more than 3 months, because I'm using it every 3 days. So it's gonna last me a very long time. So I feel like I just hacked the universe. Goodbye, estheticians. Like, I'm not going to knock on your door and text you to see if you have my skincare in stock. That's crazy pants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that being said, I wanted to go skiing. And the thing I miss most about East Coast that I don't get out here is I live at the beach and everyone thinks that's cool, but like I could give two shits about the beach. Like I don't like the sand. I think like I go for runs at the beach, but I'm running on the pavement. Like walking on sand makes me want to like stick my head in it and bury it. Like I don't want to touch the sand. It's 10 times harder. Like what's wrong with you people? Why do you like the sand? I'm not a beach person. I'm definitely a mountain gal. And so the mountains are just really far away, more specifically mountains that you could ski on. And so the closest mountain to me is like a little over 4 hours, and they're closed like during the week. And so, and that's when I have time off. So went to chat and I'm like, hey, I want to stay in a like I want to stay at a ski resort. I want a ski in, ski out room for like a decent price, and I don't want to drive too far. And chat came up with this one place. But that being said, is I can't go on a day ski trip like we could back east. I have to go on like a multiple night thing, which low key sucks, but it's also kind of nice. It's like the give and take. I want my options. I want to be able to go up for a half day and then drive back home, but I don't have that, and that's okay. But basically, ChatGPT was like, you might like this place called Sugar Bowl. And I looked it up. I'm like, this is crazy. They had just renovated this like really old, like 1920s
Lodge.
their lodge. Yeah. And you could only get there by gondola. It was at the bottom of a lift, and it was called the Disney lift, which after doing some research, Walt Disney had invested in like the ski resort back in the day. And so they renamed one of the mountains. So it's like probably a 4 to 6 peak mountain, and they named one of the peaks after him. This was Mount Disney, and so we stayed at the bottom of Mount Disney
That's pretty
at
cool.
the Village Lodge, and it was really cool. And they had just renovated the downstairs, and they like were going very sustainable, so everything you got was in like glasses. And I'm I'm a cup girl. And so like my cappuccino was in a cute cup. Like they even put real glasses up in your rooms. There was like an electric kettle. And so we brought like what?
I'll go into it,
Party.
but I got my
Okay.
I got my warm water from my electric
I
kettle in
can't
here.
do it. I can't do it. I'm this ice cold water gal. But yeah, we made our like backpacking food because we were like, okay, we're gonna splurge and stay at the resort. We're gonna bring some like supplemental food, and then we're going to like eat out once a day. And so it was really nice. And we skied. They didn't get snow since the 26th of December, and they don't have fake like they don't have the snow guns, but they were up there grooming it every single night, and we watched them grooming it from our room, which was really, really cool. So yeah, I would definitely go back. At first, because I haven't gone skiing. I went skiing a lot during COVID. Because, like, what else are you gonna do? But I hadn't gone. I broke my skis. Okay, I hadn't gone skiing since for like I didn't get to go last year. I think I went once the year before, and same with the year prior to that. So I was like, am I even going to remember how to ski? And so we get up there and we're like, let's just go on a green really quick. And we go down the green and we're like, that was fun. Let's do another one. And by the end, it's crazy how it comes back to you. I was like speeding past the grandmas. Like got to the bottom of the hill. I'm like, this is great. But I since I don't ski all that much, I have like, okay, back in middle school, this is how long it's been. Back in middle school, mom used to take us to like the local ski snowboard shop, and we would rent the skis for the season because it was cheaper than renting them every single time we went up. And so we would go in, we'd rent them for the season, and then we'd return them at the end of the season. And I remember one year, my rentals were so old that they were like, you know what, for an extra $50, you could just keep these. And I was like, deal. I'm sold. So I paid like extra, I think mom paid extra $50. And this was like maybe beginning of high school, but I really think this was like eighth grade. And I've been the same size since then. I have not grown up or wide. And so that they've just worked. And I did acquire new boots along the way. However, I've had the same skis. And so I'm like, okay, they ain't broke. I'll just get them waxed every year. I'll keep skiing on them. So I moved into the tiny house, put my skis in storage, and storage gets to like 110, 115 degrees. And we are down in like the bougie, fancy, newly renovated locker room for the season pass holders because it came with our room to get one of those little lockers. And we're getting ready next to these like locals that come here all the time, have like really nice ski equipment. And my dingy ass old like middle school skis that were, let me say, they were at point of retirement in eighth grade. So they're not even, they were old then. So
They're
I had
artifacts.
I had vintage skis, and they kind of reminded me, do you know like the running obviously, like the running glasses that are like very fast coated?
Yeah, they're called my Go Fast glasses, but yes.
Yeah, I love those. My skis were that vibe. I had go fast skis. Like they had, I will put a picture in them. I will send, I might have a picture. I don't even know. But I will get a picture. I had go fast skis, and they're like funny. They're like bright blue with like a red accent on it that's like RX Ski 2000. They're just like, they're old, obviously. And I had them sitting upright, and then they fell ever so like slowly, and I went to go catch them, but they bounced off the ground and hit the floor, and the bottom of the ski separated from the top, and just they on both skis they came apart. And I'm like, no, good thing this happened like now and not while I'm on the mountain. But it was embarrassing with all these people with their brand new skis, and mine were just like falling apart. So I rented, and I ended up skiing like that, and it was great.
Did you
But
throw them in the garbage?
no, I brought them home. I gotta make shot
Or you didn't
skis.
glue them?
Those are my, I've never skied on any other ski. These have, well, I have, but like these have been my skis for more than half my life.
That is
So,
true.
no, seriously. So they're my emotional support ski, and I was getting mad because they were just coming back into style. Like
Yeah.
they were just getting back into style.
Well, now you can use them for like decor maybe, or yeah, shot ski or something cool.
Absolutely. My cat's trying to come in the door. Do you see him?
Yeah. Come on, Winnie.
Winston. I'm gonna let him in.
Okay. I'm jealous that you got to go skiing because I also have not skied in a few years. And I'm like fear that I have forgotten, but I used to be super crazy. Like I used to go all the time. But I'm jealous that you got to go. It's beautiful over there. 2 years ago, I went back home to where John and Katie are from, and they're from that area. And back, this kind of like adds on to what you're saying. So, you know how where we're from, I don't know, like I thought this was normal that like if your mom or whoever can't pick you up after school, there was like that after school care thing or
Hmm.
before care. And at our school in New York, you just got dropped off and you sat in a cafeteria. Like if mom's going to work at 6 or 7 or whatever, you got dropped off there and you just sat there for like an hour and like braided people's hair or did homework. And then same with like after school in California, that they got dropped off at the mountain. So they just, yeah, skied before school. Like they got dropped off at 7. The kids would just go like bring their snowboards and whatnot, go ski. And then after school, the bus would go from school to the mountain and they would ski and hang out there with like a chaperone until mom came and picked them up at the mountain. So it was
That's
like
wild.
jealous.
I'm jealous too. Well, that happened to our cousins, like in Vermont. And
Yeah.
that's not even that much further away, but they would have like ski days where
Mhm.
I think, were they at a private school or was it just
No, it
public
was
school?
just
Yeah, no,
public
they
school.
would have like on Thursdays, you get a half day and they drop you off at the mountain and you go skiing because everybody skis because that's what you do when you live in the snow. And
Yeah,
so,
it's
yeah,
gorgeous.
we're definitely, looking, as we're looking to like move back east in the next probably like 3 to 5 years, maybe 1 to 2, I don't know, like
Whenever it happens.
1 to 5 years. Definitely have to be in like 45-minute distance to a mountain.
Well, I used to do like thinking back in college, I used to get a ski pass, which by the way, are I'm so out of touch because John and I were talking about people who are season pass holders. So in
Mhm.
college, and yes, I got a discount because I was in college. I would spend like maybe $400 or $500 on a season pass, and it covered like my favorites. It was like Okemo, Pico, Mohawk, so like all like southern Vermont right there. So you would have to drive 4 hours up and 4 hours down. But I would do that every weekend and drive 4 hours up, ski for the day, go get dinner, come back down. Now, Bel Air, like Bel Air is way smaller, way whatever. I have a friend who works there and a friend who is like a season pass holder. Over $1,000 for the season, which is wild.
Yeah.
Hunter, same thing, over 1,000. So like it's insane. I was like, I'll pay whatever it is for like 1 or 2 days up and down, but like to get a season pass, things are so different than
Yeah,
back 10 years
I
ago.
I had one of those and it had like it was mainly Hunter, but it was definitely I think it was like the Epic Pass. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe not, but I was like I was college aged and it was probably like 2017, 2018, and I got that for like 3.99 season pass for
Mhm.
multiple mountains. And I remember being like I don't know if I want to spend that much. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And I did, and I can't believe how crazy it is. But that just goes to show like you got to use like your job to work for you. So I'm like I'm a bartender. When I'm looking for jobs out there, I just have to find like a job in bartending. So maybe I'll get like a free season pass to the mountain. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll
Very
see.
cool. Yeah, I'm jealous
Yeah.
that you went. Well, I'm a beach girl, but I'm glad I went to the beach. But I am jealous you got to go snowboarding in such a pretty place.
Yeah. Okay, I do have to backtrack. I think California beaches are just so overrated because it's like 62 degrees as a high today. And like that's fine, but like that's not beach weather and it's getting down to the 40s at night. Like that's not beach weather. So like what's the point of living at the beach when you're
It's
not like in a bikini? So, and
and
that's
it's
how it is most of the year. Like we'll get random days that are like 85 degrees, but yeah, we're not really beach weather
you're not swimming
beach.
in
So
the
it
ocean.
doesn't make sense. No. And like we have a local man who flies his drone every single day, he's just spotting the great whites. So I'm like, yeah, thanks Jojo Caveman or something like that. That's his Instagram handle. Posting all these great whites. So it doesn't make me want to do any beach things.
I did break out my Oceano, whatever shark tracker, and because I like to track the sharks.
Mhm.
And I was, if I'm going to Florida, I'm gonna swim. And I did, it was fine. But I showed all like my older friends, and they were like, what? You can track the sharks? And I was like, yeah, I mean, not every single shark is tagged, so I'm sure there's other sharks, but it was Denny and Penny, and they were the local
Aw,
Key West great whites. And it gave like a
Denny and
little
Penny.
bio and a photo of them and all the spots that they've been. But safe to
That
say, I
makes
did
me
not
want to go to a diner and get pancakes so bad.
Denny.
Denny and Penny, because we have a Penny's diner out here, and then obviously there's Denny's. So I'm like,
Oh,
both are diners. This reminds me of a story when I was playing a songwriters festival, and it was like the first year of it, and I definitely had like it doesn't really matter. I was playing the songwriters festival, and we were in a hotel, and the hotel had a rooftop bar, and I think I was like freshly 21. And when we were swimming in the water that day, I drew like a little dolphin in the sand, and then left the dolphin in the sand, went up to the rooftop bar, and I could see where the dolphin was drawn in the sand. And I remember looking out and being like, "Oh, there's a shark right there." I mean, like, my God, there's a shark right there. And we were swimming like over our heads in the water and the exact spot where the shark was. And I'm like, okay, we know that they're there. And then I went home and I checked, and it was in New Smyrna Beach. New Smyrna Beach is like number one place for sharks in Florida. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm a dummy. I can't believe I lived. And I was like, no wonder why I had the water to myself.
no
I
one else
can see the
wanted to jump.
headline now.
That's
New
funny.
York based songwriter gets eaten by a shark when she's frolicking in the water
I was
between
gonna say
music sets.
frolicking.
Yeah. Yeah,
That is
that was
funny.
fun. Well,
Wait, I want to talk
you
about
have
my
other topics? Your
just
what?
quick ones. My veggie spill.
Oh, Katie's the big veggie spill of
The
2026.
big veggie spill, and I don't know, this was just like the oddest thing. So my boyfriend, he works with slash for someone who is a really big tow truck driver company in our area. He's like very rich, whatever. So not my boyfriend, the tow truck driver guy. He owns the company. So anyway, I get a call and I'm in Key West, and John is like, hey, there's been a veggie spill, and I'm going to change names for whatever purposes, but Gary wants to know if we want any veggies. And I'm like, what the hell is a veggie spill? But sure, whatever. I don't know, I'm on vacation. I'm like, sure, great. So he said, okay, well, you wouldn't believe the amount of veggies we got. It's like just from this truck. And I was like, okay, awesome, thanks. So
Yes,
anyway,
honey, great. Let me enjoy my margarita.
let me enjoy my margarita, go get whatever veggies you
Put them in
want.
the fridge.
Yeah, great. So I get home and I'm looking in the fridge, and there's no space because I was meal prepping. There's no space for any of my Tupperware. There's just veggies that I don't even know what they are. I have a huge box, like this big, of mushrooms. There's veggies that like look like carrots, but they're white. There's Brussels sprouts. There's zucchini. There's just pepper everywhere. And I'm like, what the heck happened? So apparently this veggie truck crashed in the snow because it's very snowy here. It spun off the road and everyone was okay. But because it got into a little fender bender and it had produce in it, they legally can't sell the produce anymore. So apparently, other people, don't know who, were jumping on the veggie truck and pillaging it, like taking the veggies, being like, oh, they can't use it. They can't use it. But then when Boss Gary gets there, the owner of the tow truck company, he was like, get out of my way. I need to tow this truck. So he towed the truck with the remaining veggies in it. And he was like, hell yeah, I'm keeping these. So Gary got all the veggies off the truck when it got back to his shop, and he was like, oh wow, this is like more veggies than expected. I can't keep all these veggies. So he was trying to give them, and obviously he gave them to like my boyfriend's boss and like my boyfriend and whatever. And so now we have all these veggies. And then I was like, are these veggies technically stolen? Because I wanted to know. And
I'm wondering that too.
they said no, they're not technically stolen because it's similar to an airplane. The veggies on the truck had like a manifesto, I guess. I don't know.
Manifest
Like,
destiny.
yeah, that's probably what happened. They had like a list of the veggies that were on the truck. So all of those veggies and whatever was on the list are just all going to get reimbursed through insurance because you can't resell them, even though it was just like a oops, I slipped off the road, even though it needed to be towed and it's off course now, you can't use the veggies. So they were all going to get trashed. I guess that was like the directions to the tow truck driver. It was just throw them in the trash. And he said, I'm not going to trash those veggies. So now I have them all in my fridge.
Okay, that was my question because I'm like, this seems very gray area. Like, did anybody say, okay, you guys are good to go on the veggies, we don't need them? Or was it like, I know you guys are gonna throw them out, so I'm gonna steal them? But no, it's like, yeah, you got good to go, you got veggies.
Yeah. And I think it's crazy. I never really thought about that. Like how many truck crashes or even like it's not even a crash. It's not like you crashed into anything. It was just snowy and he had a big truck and it just slid off the road and he needed to be towed. And I guess that tells
Mhm.
the veggies can't be used now. So like does that happen a lot?
That's so wasteful.
Yeah, they filled my fridge for free. I got to figure out how to
Yeah.
eat them, but
I'm
yeah,
sure
I
mom and dad would be pumped. You should
no.
make this makes me I might make gnocchi today, but you should make we have so this was definitely going to like a restaurant or something because the boxes of mushrooms, we have boxes just like that of mushrooms in our fridge in our the restaurant I work at, and they're a little bit fancier. But what they do with the mushrooms, they make a mushroom ravioli. I think it's a mushroom tortellini. And so they cook down the mushrooms, they make the filling. I bet I could ask one of the guys what the recipe is.
Yeah, I
Um,
have more mushrooms than I know what to do
mhm.
with. Like a huge box.
Well, then you just have like a whole day of being like a pasta granny making a lot of like raviolis, and then you just put them in your freezer, and then you have mushroom raviolis for days.
That's what I'm gonna have to do. I don't know. I've been like
Yeah.
slowly I don't know. I've been eating like a lot of Asian food lately, so I'm like, well, I could put the veggies in the Asian food. I don't know, but
Yeah, just like do a little stir fry.
you're
Yum
right.
yum
It was
yum.
probably going to a restaurant. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and then the restaurant's like, I need it now anyways. Like, I don't have any time for this crime scene.
Yeah.
Like, I need to cook now. Speaking of, I was
No.
at Costco and I was like looking at cheeses, and I've had a Costco card forever, but I go through phases with using it. I'm like, it's just such like, especially living in a tiny house. Like, I have potatoes in my oven because I don't know where else to put them. Like, I have potatoes for days, but I'm walking around Costco and there's this man, and I'm looking at cheese, right? And there's a $22 block of Parmesan cheese, but I'm like, I need Parmesan cheese. I'm not going to another like grocery store. If there's anything I'm gonna spend money on, it's gonna be cheese. So I said, okay, I could do this. I will buy a $22 block of cheese. It's pretty big. And I put it in my cart. Then this man was running around. He had like two employees. It seemed like employees. He was like, I'm gonna eat six of these, six of that, six of that. I'm like, boy, you just bought like $500 worth of cheese right there. What are you doing? And so I'm wondering if he's like part of a restaurant too, and if restaurants shop at Costco. But it was wild.
What's that show with Guy Fieri where they run around the store, grocery
Oh my
store?
gosh.
Maybe it was an undercover filming of that.
Grocery
Grocery
I think it
store.
was called like Triple G because Triple D, Diners,
Yeah.
Drive-ins, and Dives. It was like grocery. I don't know, but I know what you're talking about.
They run around and grab it.
Guys, grocery dash or something. Guys, grocery games. That's it. Yeah, we grew up in the Guy Fieri household. Household.
Yes. Yes,
I
we did.
think like something I'm really surprised that I don't own yet that I've been speaking about owning for years is one of like the Guy Fieri hats, the visor with like the hair. I'm like,
I was
that's
Guy
something.
Fieri for Halloween once.
So you have it somewhere.
No,
You've got to.
I made my own.
No. Yeah, I just feel like that's something that I could pull out of my ass somewhere and just be like, yeah, this is very fitting. And I would use it a lot. I do believe that.
My new thing, and this is the last thing I'll leave you with. People thought I was a little crazy for doing this, but every time that I've done this, it's been like a party slash event hit. Is wearing a funky hat, like you said, like the Guy Fieri thing. Or I'm big into like wigs. I have like all these crazy wigs. Or like I have a crab hat. I haven't busted that one out,
I've
but
worn the crab hat before. I love the crab
yes.
hat.
So mom was getting rid of all of these things and she's like, "Do you want them?" And I was like, "Of course." And so twice now I have brought random props slash wigs to events. Like it was like a huge concert and then another one was like a dinner in the city. And I didn't know if anyone was going to wear them. Everyone loved them. It's like life of the party. Everyone wants to be wearing like the weird crab hat. Everyone wants to be wearing like they want to know what event is going on. Oh my god, that's so cute. Can I take a picture of you? Can I take a picture with you? So everyone loves a weird prop when you bring it. So definitely you should add that and just bust it out at random times because people will love it.
Yeah, I will say like, ooh, sorry, I dropped my phone on my cat. I have a like at the bar I work at, there's not the daytime bar, but the late night bar I work at, there would be like bachelorette parties and birthday parties, and even more so often, like it's been a thing where they would dress up as like old grandmas. The grandmas are a hit.
I love the grandmas.
Katie wants to do the grandma. But like obviously they'll do like the wigs for the bachelorette and like the bride gets like a white hair and then everyone else gets a different color hair. But the grandmas are my favorite. It looks fun. And like how comfortable. You're going out to the bar, you're not doing your makeup, you're not doing your hair, you're putting a wig on, you're wearing your glasses. Like, honestly, how comfortable is that?
Yeah, and I love when they like hobble in and then a song comes on and they're like dancing with their cane over their head.
Oh, yeah.
That is
Oh,
my favorite.
yeah.
I've
We've
been
got to
wanting
do
to do
that.
that for years.
You have. You have been.
If I
Seems
come
like
visit
so
you.
much. My problem is it seems like so much effort. Like, I don't want to. I'd rather spend my money on like a nice cocktail than a cane. What am I going to use a cane again?
We could just go to Goodwill or something. That's where
But
I
then
get
where am I going to put it? I'm going to throw it all out.
well, you have to well, yeah. I started a
That's
costume bin because I've been doing this. Like I forget where my friend Nina and I went, but it was somewhere where we needed a fun costume and she said the same thing. She's like, I don't want to spend money to then just not use it. I was like, girl, we're going to go to Goodwill. And we had a blast. We found all these crazy things, not wigs. I ordered them off Amazon, but like clothing wise. And I was like, look at all these things that we found. And it was like $2.
nice. Okay. Well, I made my Halloween costume last 2 years ago. And it was, and I was like, I'm going to do like, I'm an adult now. I'm just going to do the same costume every year. Like, it's about time I just have like a quality, good costume. And that was Harry Potter because, I mean, people our age, we're Harry Potter, you know? And so Hassam and we did our little quiz, figured out who we were, and then I made capes. I got us the sweaters, and then I got like a skirt that was like kind of cute, and I wore boots, and I'm like, okay, I just have like a forever costume now that I could just pull out, and it's like quality. It's not like falling apart. So that's fun.
I love it.
Yeah. Should we see what our write-in is, or do you have anything else?
No, I forgot about our write-in. My hair
I
looks
know.
so it's dirty, but compared to your blonde hair, my hair looks so brown right here.
It does. My hair's kind of clean. I washed it like 2 days ago. It doesn't get to go down a lot. Like, I keep it up most of the time in a braid. Obviously, I just took it out of the braid because I just got up and got dressed because it's my only day off. So I'm like, I'm just chilling. Where is it? Text messages. Okay, this is a long one. It's so long that I've never seen this before that it shows in a little paragraph that's like this big, like a normal size, with a little arrow that says read more. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I've never seen that before.
Right.
Okay, write in from one of Natalie's coworkers. Oops, or anonymous. Alleged coworkers somewhere in the
Allegedly,
world.
no.
This goes. Okay, so I have a story involving a crazy ex-boyfriend. This one has drama that goes super deep, so we won't be able to get into all of the backstory of why he is crazy, but this will shed a little bit of light on it. So I work for an environmental company that does work in association with the US Navy. I have worked with Natalie a couple of times at China Lake, but I'm a project lead out of primarily Nevada working at a Navy base in Fallon. I got out of absolutely insane relationship back in March with a guy I worked adjacently with. He's a Navy cop security that we work with to get access to specific locations and coordinate our plans with. Our breakup did not go very smoothly. To put it simply, he is bipolar, manipulative, narcissistic, and basically a man child that always plays victim. I ended up cutting him off completely and going no contact because of how crazy he would act. I would get random texts from him here and there, either saying how sorry he was, that he wanted to reconcile, or how much he hates me and that I'm a horrible person, or I'd just ignore them and not answer. I would also get flurries of nonstop phone calls. Who is this girl? I like her. To the point where my phone would be nonstop buzzing and I would have 37 missed calls. One night in particular, I went to a country fair with a friend on the back of his motorcycle. We hung out with a bunch of friends and then he brought me back to my house and we had a beer and hung out. I got a text at 2 a.m., which I will attach a screenshot and you could just read it. To explain these texts, basically, he was outside my house looking in front of my door across the street, stalking my friend and I, threatening to crash his motorcycle. After I received this text, I immediately blocked his number and filed a police report the next day. I had not worked with him or seen him since. Fast forward to this week, he was assigned to our project to let us into certain area of the military race. His job description is to actively escort us and work with us. He did not say one thing in our morning meeting where we discussed safety and the scope of work. I did not speak to him, either continuing my no contact method. However, later in the day, things started to go downhill. He got in a fight with my subcontractors for asking a simple question. He basically was abusing his power at this point very clearly because he obviously is an insecure little man. He sat on his phone and was smoking cigarettes the whole time, which I don't think is allowed in the area, but that we were in. and blowing up at anyone who asks him a question. Wait, why did I read that as like he's smoking a cigarette? Someone asked him a question. He goes, but I don't think that was what was meant, but that was so funny in my head. One of my drill crew members got in an argument and basically put him in his place. After that, he acted cool with the drillers but put his attention towards me. Everything I did he had a problem with, even though it was within our scope of work and allowance on a military base. Basically, just a huge power trip to the point where all of my coworkers and my drill crew noticed. It was interrupting our work and very clear that he was bringing personal issues to his job. The next day, he was taking off of our project and we received a new security guard. My drill crew explained what happened yesterday, and the security guard had apologized for everything. The next day, our new security guard comes in and says that the branch head that leads security wants to meet with our entire crew this Friday. He said it had something to do with the security guard we had that caused all the problems. Now, the security guard, my crazy ex, has had many complaints pertaining to clients on base, from fights to bad attitudes to being difficult to work with, and even coming into work drunk or missing work because he was too drunk. From what I had heard from the past, he has been on his last leg at this military base for a very long time, so I'm unsure if he complained to his boss about us or if word got back that he had another issue of butting heads with clients. Either way, I have to meet with this department head with my whole crew to discuss the issue on Friday morning. Lucky me. I will hopefully be transferring full time to out of California this project to work. I whoa. This girl's having a little bit of a seizure. Hopefully she'll be transferring out of California soon and be done with all this drama. I will write in with some updates after the meeting, but until then, wish me luck.
That's crazy.
That is some
What are
tea
the
for
chances
sure.
that that person gets assigned to your
Right? This must
thing?
be like a really small town.
Yes, yeah. That's funny.
Also, my input, it's like there's no way that even if he complained about you guys, like it's going to reflect badly on him because he's had so many issues. Like even if he came up and was like these people sucked, like we had problems, they would probably sit you guys down and be like, "Listen, so he's had issues in the past. He's complaining about you, but I want the whole story."
Mhm.
And it's probably going to reflect badly on him
Yeah,
anyways.
for
But
sure.
I'm sure it was just word got back to him, to like his superiors, that he's been so bad.
Yeah,
But
and especially if you're going with your whole crew, it's not just like you and him. That would be like crazy. But no, it's your whole crew. He
yeah.
was trying to fight with.
What I'm curious is if the crew knows that that's your ex.
Yeah, follow-up question. Love to know that. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Hmm. Because that would change it. I mean, now they probably do because they're like, "What's this guy's problem?" But either way, he's digging in his own grave.
Mm,
Hmm. Well,
we need to
I
follow up on
don't have. We do need to follow up. Friday is in 2 days at this point, so I will request that. Oui, s'il vous plaît. Well, my animals are both sleeping on other sides of me. Last thing, I got a heated blanket for Christmas, and I didn't think I'd be like, I'd love it or I'd be using it as much as I would. Like, obviously, it gets cold. I just, like, I don't know. But it's been so nice. I took like probably a month to actually set it up and start using it. And once that I did, like, my animals are obsessed with me. Like, I'll put my heated blanket on and sit down on the couch, and like all of a sudden my cat's like trying to get under it, and I'm like, I knew you left me. And it's been great. I didn't think I'd love it as much as I do, but I highly recommend.
Yeah, I want one.
Yeah.
Do you have to plug it in when you're using it?
Yeah. It was a good thought on the gifters. It was Hassam. He was like, I really like, I thought this was something you'd like. I found one online that I thought you'd really like that wasn't a plug-in, and I thought that you could use it in the car because I have like a car blanket, and he was like, it was a Pendleton one, like you didn't have to plug it in. It was really cute. And then I couldn't find it, and so I bought you this one. And it's like a plug-in, and it works. It's great. But
You have to
the
sit.
plug the plug freaks me out a little bit, and the plugs also clutter. I'm like, I don't want a plug. But baby steps, my birthday's coming, so maybe I'll request a new one.
To find
But
where it is. You just need two. You need one for your car, and then the plug is fine. Just tuck it under,
yeah,
nobody sees.
plug's fine for the house, but they remind me of the butterfly house in the Aunt Jean's cabin
Uh,
because they had heated blankets up there.
Well, when you move back to the East Coast, you're for sure going to need your heated blanket because it
Oh,
was
no.
literally 0 this morning. I think it got up to like 4 today.
I'm jealous of your snowstorm. It's so just boring out here.
Yeah, big snowstorm. It's going to be 17 inches, and they started canceling things already on Sunday.
Do a snow angel for me.
It will.
Yeah. Did you get rid of your goats yet?
Yeah, I did. It's a
When?
crazy story. Well, I didn't. Well, I was on vacation,
Oh,
so
you were gone.
I was gone. But yeah, real quick, this is our last story, and then I have to pee.
Mm-hmm.
So, long story short, we decided to get rid of the goats because they were literally just little menaces. They were cute. They really wanted to be pet. They like snuggles. They were like a dog. Like they would run over to you. They wanted like pet love. They knew their names, but they like just ate everything. Like they just destroyed things. Costed literally over $2,000 worth of damage. They ate like 4 doors. They peeled all the siding off the barn. So like at that point, they weren't giving us anything besides like snuggles and scritches, and they were just costing a shit ton of money. So we made the executive decision. We're like, okay, let's get rid of them. But then we got into a little tiff, I guess you could say, because I called the people that we got them from. And I said, hey, we don't want them anymore. Do you guys want them back? And they said, no, we don't want them back, but we also do not want you to give them to just anyone. We'll do the legwork. So they framed it that way. We'll do the legwork. We'll find someone for them. And I said, great, sounds easy to me. I'm going to Key West. So then I was like, okay, like we had to wait. And then I was like at my wit's end. I was like, okay, I'm about to post these bitches on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, the audacity to be like, we want to control who you're giving them to,
You're
but
giving it to.
also we're not going to take them back. It's like, no, sorry.
Yeah, I should have said no, but I at the time I was like, oh, that's helpful. Thanks. So
Mhm.
anyway, they pick someone like a mutual person that everyone in the story kind of knows. And they said, okay, this guy wants them, but he lives in the Adirondacks. And I said, great. He has a beautiful farm up there. And I was like, lovely. Okay, so when is he coming to get them? And they're like, oh, he doesn't have a trailer. He only has his wife's Subaru, and we can't fit 4 goats in the Subaru. So you guys have to figure out a way to get them up there. So we were like, well, that kind of sucks, but I'm going to figure it out. So the day before I left for Key West, I was calling about trailer rentals because, you had to rent a trailer, had to go borrow a truck. And I found this old guy in LaGrange. He's like the cheapest one who does trailer rentals. And to have him come down, pick up your livestock, drive it up to wherever, drop them off, and come back down, it was going to be like $600 for like that service. And I was like, that's stupid. I don't want to pay that. And he was like, well, if you don't want to pay that, you could rent my trailer and you drive it for $175. So fast forward, I said, yeah, sure. I get the cash out, leave it for John. And I said, I'm going
Did
to
you make the
fun.
guy that you're giving these goats to pay for that?
No, we paid for it.
I would have done that for
Yeah.
sure. Be like, listen, it's going to be a like, you just want the goats to arrive on your property?
Yeah,
Little
he
bitch,
did.
you're
And
gonna
that's
pay
what
for this.
happened. Crazy.
That
Anyway,
is crazy.
so
I'm mad
unfortunately,
for you.
yeah. So then I go to Key West. Everything's set. I leave the cash. Thanks, John. He was going to borrow Dad's truck. He's going to go trailer the goats, whatever. This crazy snowstorm happens with the food truck that's
Oh
going
no.
everywhere. And so the old man was like, "Sorry, you can't borrow my trailer in the snow." And I didn't know it was snowing. I was on a boat. I was literally on a boat, and old man Rick is calling me saying, well, the rental isn't going to work for tomorrow. But then the guy who wanted the goats was like, no, I want them on Sunday. I want them. And I said, great. Like, come get
You
them.
want your free goats that
You
are
want
being
us to
delivered to
deliver.
you. You little piece
So
of shit.
yeah, it was crazy. So long story short, Home Depot, this is allegedly, if you hear this, we rented for cheaper, $150, a Home Depot moving van. And we threw them in the back, and we made sure it was metal inside, and we did lay down hay, and we laid down like these like work blankets or whatever. And they didn't eat anything because that was my big concern, that they were going to eat the inside because they eat everything, but it was metal. So then John gets up there and gets the goats out. And then what he did was swept out the hay. And then there was just old moving blankets. He threw them in the trash. He wiped it down and returned it to Home Depot. So though we had to pay, it was cheaper. Poor John had to spend 4 hours of his day driving to the Adirondacks. But now
Yeah.
they're gone. So
Nice. You have your barn to do whatever you want with. That does make me wonder what goes on. Like, what else has gone on in the back of a Home Depot moving truck that we just don't know about and we'll never know about. But
for
that's
sure,
okay.
wipe it down before you put any furniture back there.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching, listening. We are 17 Scooters Club podcast. If you have any drama you want to write in, if you want advice, I don't know if this girl wanted advice or if she just had a crazy story she wanted to share. But
Right.
I guess like if you have any advice that you want, like we're not professional, but we will for sure give our 2 cents. Absolutely. Email us at 17scootersclub@gmail.com. Find us online on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We're not on Facebook. We're not that old. 17 Scooters Club podcast. Maybe we'll get on Facebook one day. But yeah, that's that. Thanks for watching. Scoot scoot. 2 wheels are better than 4. From the mountains to the shore, find us rolling up to the pub. We're 17 Scooters Club.